Okay, so that was a demonstration of some basic link turns there. Those are the kind of turns that you're going to step up to after you get comfortable making your very first basic turns and start linking them together. That was what's called a crossover turn, where my entire body is staying fairly static and I'm leaning my entire body over each edge, over my toe edge, over my heel edge to make those turns. I'm using some torsional flex with the front foot to initiate the turn, but most of all it's that leaning, bringing the board onto its edge and allowing the side cut. You're going to feel you're almost close to starting to carve when you start employing this crossover turn like that, because it's the side cut that's really making the turn for you. If you notice, I kind of had my hands out like that. This is a good visual thing when you're first learning to make these turns, because it gives you a visual reference to make sure your shoulders are aligned with the board and you're not doing a whole lot of this kind of movement. You're not tipping your shoulders one way or the other. You kind of keep an eye on things as you're dialing this in. So that's your basic skidded link turn crossover. What I'm going to talk about now is the dynamic skidded turn. Okay, so the dynamic skidded turn. The word dynamic means that your body is going to be, different parts of your body are going to be doing different things. Ideally, when you're in a dynamic skidded turn, your upper body is going to be kind of static. It's not going to be doing a lot of movement, pretty much traveling down the hill in fairly straight trajectory. You might have a little bit of S-turn to your upper body, but most of the action is taking place is from the belt line down. You're going to be extending, get that right, extending up, flexing down. And the joints that you're going to be using to do this are the ankles, the knees, and the hips. You hear a lot of people say, bend the knees, bend the knees. Bending the knees doesn't help you if you don't also bend the ankles at the same time. Otherwise, you're just going to be way out of balance. So think about a spring. Your lower body is like a spring. You're flexing, extending, flexing, extending. Everything's happening. The ankles, knees, and hips are all in motion. What that does is that changes the distance from my waist to the snow. When I change that distance, the board's going to, when it's extended, the board's going to travel out away from me into that carve. As it comes back under me, I'm going to flex to allow the board to pass under my upper body, then extend as it goes out behind me. So what's happening is throughout the turns, I'm extending, flexing, flexing. The whole time, I'm going to keep my shoulder, at least attempt to, pointed pretty much straight down the hill to try to keep my upper body traveling in a straight line down the hill, and only have my board making those linked S-turns all the way down the hill. Now to bleed off speed, we're going to make these a skidded turn, because as I talked about in another video, the skidding is going to bleed off speed. It causes drag and it's going to keep you slowed down and under control. So this is another example where a skidded turn isn't a bad turn. I'm going to, like I said, start out with that. And the other thing to think about is keep the lower spine kind of unlocked to allow your hips, some rotary movement of your hips there. When you're in your turns that way, that'll allow the board to travel freely back and forth under you.